Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are the nucleotides. We are the nucleotides, I am the RNA and my homie is the DNA. Right now I'm going to be talking about transcription and translation, you know. So transcription, what you should know, it takes place inside the nucleus, and then translation takes place on the cytoplasm. So as I said, it takes place inside the nucleus of the cell, and then that's whereby DNA is transcribed into mRNA, ribosomal RNA, and transfer RNA. So although these things take place in the nucleus from DNA, right now we're going to be discussing the production of messenger RNA. So transcriptions begins when RNA promoters attaches to the region of DNA called promoters. So the RNA polymerase reads down the DNA template from 5 to 3' direction and then stop the sequence. Then the RNA is transcribed from DNA. Note that during transcription, uracil is actually replacing their mine. So now we have new base pairs, which is adenine, guanine, cytosine, and uracil. Then thymine goes away, and then a new form RNA is called pre-RNA. It has to be modified before leaving the cell. So what happens during the modification? That's whereby it receives the cap at 5' which is I think it's guanine, and then that tells the ribosomes where to attach when it goes to the cytoplasm, and then it receives the tail at the 3 ends. This tail facilitates the mRNA for the transport. So that when it goes into when it goes to the ribosomes into the cytoplasm. Oh, let's continue. After the mRNA is produced, it's rough mixed with exon and introns. So introns has to be spliced out by spliceosome, and an exon remains into the RNA. Because exons, they actually code for protein, and then introns that we code for protein, so they have to fade away, they have to go away, and then we have our mRNA, messenger RNA with exon, So I actually put a diagram here to actually demonstrate to you very well. You can see the production of an mRNA comes from a DNA. You see, after it actually replicated, you see the RNA polymerase attached to the promoter, and then the mRNA is actually formed. By the way, this is DNA, whereby it's unwide, doesn't matter here. Yeah, and then you see the 5 ends of mRNAs moving out. So as we continue, this is another demonstration. This is actually another demonstration for transcription. So you see the replication. You see the RNA polymerase. Actually, it does the same function with like a DNA polymerase, So as soon as RNA polymerase attaches to the promoter, the transcription begins, Yeah, man. So yeah, and then you see the exons and the introns that I was talking about. Look here. These are the introns. These things have to go away, and then this one, they code for protein, so they remain into the mRNA, you see? So now our mRNA is fine now with exons. Okay, so now it can actually go outside the nucleus into the cytoplasm. So as we continue, we go to translation. Translation. You obviously know what translation is. Like we have translators which can speak two languages, translating Tswana to English, Afrikaans to Spedi, Yeah. Translation happens outside the cytoplasm. Whenever transcriptions happens inside the nucleus. So for it to take place, it requires mRNA, tRNA, and ribosomal RNA. That is whereby tRNA, amino acids. That is where tRNA transfer amino acids into the ribosomes, and then polypeptide bonds are formed. As soon as transfer RNA, transfer amino acids, peptide bonds are formed, and then mRNA has codons, and then tRNA has anticodons. We have three RNAs. It's ribosomal RNA, it's transfer RNA, it's messenger RNA. So these ones, the actual translation. Translation, how does it take place? Let's start with the initiation stage. That's whereby a small ribosomal unit attaches to the mRNA, which is a messenger RNA, and then the large ribosomal units join the small units, So, and then ribosomes has three bindings. It has three bindings. We have P side, which is peptide. We have A side, which is amino acid. We have E side, which is exit side. So this side is whereby tRNA binds after when it transfers amino acids. So small ribosomal units attached to the mRNA, and then the first amino acid, which is actually binds, it actually become attached on the peptide, and then the large ribosomal joins the units. Then the tRNA binds to P side, bringing amino acid methionine, which is AUG. And then on the elongation stage, which is the second stage of translation, is the stage during protein synthesis whereby polypeptide increases in length one amino acid at a time. When amino acid comes, polypeptides actually increase. They increase. Another amino acid comes, the peptide increase. They actually bounded together by the peptide bond, the amino acids, So while the amino acids are being transferred from peptide side P, A side amino acid, and exit sides, the polypeptide is formed, created by a large ribosomal unit. It continues like that, transferring amino acid until it reaches a stop code. So this is the DNA. Starts from the 5' to 3' and then this is a messenger RNA, and then this is transfer RNA. So you see this thing binds, this one transmit amino acids here, So for example, this one is called methionine. This is the first amino acid. You see, you just look at this genetic code table, and then you see AUG methionine, and then you write the amino acids. It depends according to which anticodons they have, and then you write amino acids for them, because transmit amino acid, transfer RNA, and then termination, which is the last stage. During this stage, polypeptides and components that carry protein synthesis are separated, meaning they go different ways. It occurs at the stop codon. So a codon that does not code for amino acids. Okay, and then termination requires a protein called factor that binds and stops and the cleaves from the last RNA. So it requires this protein that calls factor. It binds. This protein binds on the codons, you know, because there's no amino acids for that can code with that. That's the stop sign. Remember the methionine, the one that starts is the start. It has the start and then it has the end. Translation has the start and the stop and the stop. And then after polypeptide begins, okay, after polypeptide begins to, after this process, I mean, after what happened here, after the stop sign, after this thing have gone separate ways, the components and polypeptides are formed. So now polypeptides begins to fold into and takes its own three-dimensional shape. They take three-dimensional shape and ribosomes deassociate and send to the cytoplasmatic pool of subunits. Sorry for the slip of the tongue. So as soon as this polypeptides bend, as soon as they form three-dimensional shape, they become proteins, and then proteins from polypeptides do the work of the cell. So thank you for your time, guys, and sorry for the slip of the tongue, you know. Yeah, I hope you have tRNA, rRNA, and mRNA. So this one, tRNA has anticodons, and then this one has codons. So they match each other. They actually bind to each other on the ribosomal, on the ribosomes. Okay, you see, the messenger RNA has codons, and then tRNA has anticodons. These ones carry amino acids. Remember, this one carries amino acids, and then they bind into this one. This one determines the sequence of amino acids. So the ribosomes allows tRNA and mRNA to actually bind or code on it and form polypeptides. They bind on the ribosomes in the cytoplasm.